When you're ready, team one.
When you hear the word interview, what's the first thing that comes in your mind? Ever?
Stress.
Stress. Nice. What about you, Noor?
A face-to-face interaction, asking questions.
What's like your emotion? Like, how do you feel? You have an interview tomorrow. How are you going to feel? Stress, nervous. Well, we're here to give you tips to make it better and to make you happy whenever you know you have an interview tomorrow. Get you excited.
So the first thing you need to do while getting ready for an interview is anticipate the interview questions. So to get a job in the position you want, you have to get ready as much as you can. And I wrote 7 points how you can be ready for an interview. The first one is know about your skills and innovation and achievements. So on your work experience, you have to be able to tell the interviewer like the achievements and the accomplishments you made during that work experience. And the second one is have an answer to tell me about yourself. So who's very comfortable telling me about yourself?
I get really shaky and I forget what my prepared answer is.
Exactly. So me personally, I have to be ready telling about myself. So you should be able to tell about yourself. Like you don't have to flatter or you don't have to brag about yourself, but you have to be able to tell about yourself. And the second one is have a note card about the question and answers. So having a note card, it will help you to remember the question and answers and a few things you might need to remember during the interview. You don't have to focus and you don't have to spend a lot of time reading the note cards we have. There's just a few things that you need to memorize about the interview. So during the interview, make sure to include numbers and percentage. So this is a smart move to tell the hiring manager like how smart you are and how awesome you are, like when you include numbers and percentage. And the fifth one is prepare an answer why you like the company. So first of all, if you don't know about the company, you shouldn't be going to the interview because you should be able to know about the company and about the job you're going to get. And the sixth one is know what the difference you'll make if you get the position you're looking for. So be confident about what achievements you can make and what difference you can make to the company if you get hired. You have to be confident about telling the hiring manager how big difference you can get to the company. And the last one is practice the question and answer with a friend. So to be very comfortable, you have to be able to practice with your friend. If you don't have a friend, you can do it in front of the mirror. Last time I had an interview, there was nobody around me, so I had to stand in front of the mirror, and I was just looking to myself, like questioning and answering at the same time.
Saying a story of that, I remember one time I really wanted to be a security agent. Out of curiosity, I used to always go to Nordstrom, sit with the agent and be like, hey, what's this job? What do you do? I kept asking and asking. Every time I go shopping, I end up just talking about his job. And one day I was questioning him, and like I gained a lot of knowledge about the job because every time I go, I just talk to the security agent. And one time it happened to me asking the manager about his job. And the manager was like, hey, let me offer you an interview, like right now. He was looking for someone. And let me tell you, the only reason I got that job because of the knowledge and all the vast information I had about it. How to pack and dress for an interview. Plan your outfit ahead of time. You have to know the company's expectations. It's like their attire. For an example, it's either formal business or business casual. You can always ask to know. Like just ask your interviewer, hey, what do you want me to wear? What are you guys expecting? Don't say hey. And research the information. Or try to observe and see. Maybe there's a coffee shop nearby your company. Just sit there and see what are people wearing, going in and out from that company, and just plan accordingly. Adding to that, you should make sure that your outfit is neat and clean. You don't want to look, you want to be organized. You want to give them a great first impression. So make sure they're neat, clean, ironed, and tailored. And these days, the best tailoring is to be in the modern fit. So make sure it's modern. And you have to look good because the first impression you're going to leave is very important and may be the reason for you to get that job. This is an example of business formal or business casual attires. As you can see, but whenever you hear the word casual, your mind might go to like sneakers, jeans, which is really wrong. Business casual, you still want to look formal and you want to, go get that interview done. You don't want to go with your sneakers. You're not going to the gym. So it's going to be business casual. I will never forget that day when I first came here to the United States. I just got a job. It's a retail store. So I told myself it's like not a professional job. I'm a high school student. I don't need to dress professionally. So I woke up, my jeans, my sneakers, shoes, and I remember it was like a polo shirt, and it was not that clean. I went to the interview, and I'm ready for the interview, but my outfit is not at all. And I look at all the people waiting for the interview. All of them had formal outwear on. And like, I knew I'm not going anywhere with this interview. And whenever I got in, she was really quickly asking me some questions, and until this day, I never heard about it. I never heard back from them. It's been like 3 years. Hopefully they'll call me or contact me. I don't know. But remember that everything matters, even the smallest things. So make sure you shine your shoes, check for loose ends, and definitely do take care of your personal hygiene, especially the day of the interview. So take a shower, wear a nice fragrance, don't put too much. I put too much, and I actually, one time, my interview gave me a compliment that turned out to be not a compliment. So he first gave me a compliment, I liked it. Then the second day was like, you're wearing a lot of cologne. So, I don't know, it's a really bad thing, so just put a little cologne. I'm working on it. Get a fresh haircut or shave. It will really, whenever you look sharp, you'll be confident. It will boost your confidence. Like, whenever they ask you questions and you look really good, you can answer really good. And this is not very important, but sometimes try to bring a briefcase. So don't forget your briefcase or just a bag. Make sure it's not very colorful. You don't want to have a pink or a red bag taken into the interview. So make sure, preferably it's black and it's big enough to carry what you need. Include extra resumes. He might ask you, maybe you'll meet someone in the elevator. It's like a professional organization, so who knows all the chances you can get. And put all the stuff you need, like handy stuff for the interview. A notebook can be handy. Take notes. So like it's really important because whenever you're stressed and the information is not going to stick in your head, so you need something to write with. Clean and organize your bag. Whenever you get stuff out of your bag, you want to make sure you look organized because again, that falls into the first impressions.
And when you want to go into an interview, you want to make sure that you research the company. You want to know that you want to show that you actually have background knowledge on the company. So where to research, read the news, and find out what's currently going on in the company. The company might be coming up with a new product, and it might impress the interviewer if you actually have some knowledge on it. Another useful research, another way to research could be asking the people you know. They might have some background knowledge on the company, and it could help having their take on it. The third way you can research is by using Google. I know that Google is a good way to find information on for a research paper at school, but it could also be useful for finding information about a company. Social media is also a good way to understand the personality of the company. Maybe when you sit down with the interviewer and you can have banter, maybe the company encourages banter and everything like that, and it could make you connect with the interviewer on a more deeper level. It could also help you find out what the company culture is like. Professional social networks can give you a look at how it is to actually work for the company. And using the company's products before you actually apply for the job, it shows that you were a customer before you were an employee, which also can show that you have some knowledge in the company, which can also help you out in your interview.
Okay, so whenever you're looking at all those different resources that you just talked about, you need to know what you're specifically looking for. So for example, you want to know the good and the bad qualities of the company. If you're just looking at the information that the company itself is putting out, it's all going to be positive. And if you're just looking at, Glassdoor might just be like, disgruntled former employees who, want to give back to the company. So you want to find a wide variety of things so that you know both the good and the bad of the company. You also want to know the company cultures. You want to know what it values, what traits are looking for. You want to know the dress code. You want to know the leadership structure, who you're going to be answering to, how that's going to work. Yeah, you also want to know some talking points, so maybe some things that are going on in the company right now. Maybe they're having different promotions or like deals and stuff. Maybe they're launching a new product line. You just kind of want to know. You also want to know what traits to highlight. So you want to be honest. Obviously, that's very important. You don't want to lie in your interview. But you also want to highlight the traits that you already have that are relevant to the position. You don't want to waste their time and your time by saying things that aren't relevant. Also, you may want to tailor what weaknesses you share, because a lot of interviews will ask what your weaknesses are, and you may not want to share like that your weaknesses are the top 3 things that they're looking for in a candidate. And then also you want to know, it's okay to ask, in some instances you can ask the person who's going to interview you what the interview structure and questions might be like. And then you also want to find out information about the interviewer so you kind of know what to expect and you maybe make a deeper connection with them. So obviously why we kind of touched on this, it really shows that you're interested, you want to stand out from others, you want to make a personal connection with the interviewer. A lot of times the interviewer is someone who's excited about their company, so showing that you're excited gets them excited and it's a really good time. It gives you a full picture of the company, so not only like do they know that you're excited, you get more excited if you know more about the company and know that it's something you want to do. It also helps you feel more confident if you know what you're going to say going into it. If you know what the interview is going to be structured like, if you know who the interviewer is, it just takes a lot of the unknown out of the equation.
Getting your head in the right interview mindset can be difficult for others. It is important to try steering your focus towards your career history rather than just saying that you worked there. They are going to look where you worked depending on what the profession is. So it is important to steer your focus towards that. Familiarity with the career chronology to date gives you more proof, gives you more evidence that you did work there. Not only that, but it does show what else that you did. Getting your head in the right mindset can be difficult for people such as me. I get distracted easy, so it is important to prepare for distractions. It's important to prepare for the interview so you are not all jumbled and disorganized. Preparing for technical interviews, such as questions just like what you did in the past, what you did to prepare for this, that can be difficult to prepare for. It is important to remember that earlier you prepare for this, the better. Preparing for your interview, such as studying simple questions or using a workbook, will be more effective if you spend a lot more time practicing it. Using prep books can be important to get the correct mindset to answer common technical questions because it's getting you ready for technical questions is going to be most common in interviews, so it's you have a wide variety of the questions, but it is going to be around the same questions, so a lot of the sample books will help you get ready for that. Dead air. Dead air is the time you use to stall. When the interviewer asks you a question and you do not know the answer, you kind of resort to a go-to that you want to avoid, such as saying, or just stalling with the awkward silence because it gets awkward, right? No one likes to be awkward. Having a couple phrases that you can keep ahead of time, such as, now that's a great question, I think I would have to say. It gives you enough time to kind of think of your answer before you do kind of embarrass yourself, sound awkward if you do slip up or anything like that. Body language, it's important to practice your body language, and that's only because, as I said before, distractions. A big thing on interviews with me, whenever I don't have my body language appropriate, if I'm not sitting up, if my arms are crossed, legs are crossed, it comes off as defensive. It's not that case in every interview. It does depend on the profession you are looking for, but they do take offense to that, and it gives you an advantage of what you want to present. It's kind of what an interviewer looks at whenever they first come and see you sitting down. If you're going to be all slouched, lazy, that's what they're going to expect the work out of you. If you're going to stand tall, have your shoulders broad, then they're going to expect good work, better work as before. Using an interview cheat sheet, just like this right now, it kind of keeps you organized, kind of keeps you in the right mindset, and that's only because, such as the morning of, I'm a very forgetful person, so I, for an example, would make a checklist if I were to go to an interview and forget my briefcase, as he said before, some instances you'll need a briefcase, then I forgot everything I needed for my interview. I did not get the job because I was the most unorganized person in that interview. So having a cheat sheet can not only prevent that from happening, it gives you a nice little checklist, but also it is going to be extremely important to study it the night before or the morning of, because then it'll get your mindset fresh just right before the interview. And the most important for me is sleep. If I don't sleep 7 to 8 hours, if I don't sleep 6 to 8 hours, it is a big difference. If you go into your interview tired, they're going to know for sure, because you're going to have bags in your eyes, you're not going to look interested in being there, you obviously have your mind on something else. So. In conclusion, prepare for the interview questions, wear a professional outfit, such as a sports coat with the white button up under it, put some black slacks on. Learn about the company, research it. Don't go in there blindsided, because then it will come back to bite you. Prepare yourself mentally, because if you do go into an interview unprepared, then you will not get the job.